How to pass an interview in English. Let's jump right in. Tips. All right, the interviewer. Now, what you need to remember is the main goal of the interviewer is to find out enough information about you to decide if you are a good fit for the job opening or the program. Now, the expression good fit just actually means a match. A good match for the actual position or the program. Okay? Now, next you need to think about your clothing. You see, it is important to remember that the first impression leaves a lasting impression. This term lasting just means something that stays in the mind, okay? Stays in the mind and is not easy to forget. So your clothing will leave a lasting impression. This means that the way you dress can help you or it can harm you. The next thing is 3. The number 3 is important because prior to the interview, you should know your top 3 qualities and strengths, your top 3 reasons for wanting the job, and also 3 facts about the company or organization. This is important because it will show that you have prepared well before actually coming to the interview. So you want to be prepared by having your 3 reasons, 3 facts, and 3 qualities or strengths. Intro. Now you want to think about your self-introduction. The first part of your introduction will be to tell what type of person you are. And you do this by first describing your character and then briefly explaining your personality. So let's look at an example. Hello, my name is Samantha Smith. I'm a very diligent and honest person. Now let's pause very quickly. Diligent just means someone who works very hard, okay? Works very hard. It is the opposite of being lazy, okay? So let's keep going. I also have a very outgoing and friendly personality. Another word for outgoing is extrovert, okay? You like being around people and you like spending time with people. We say extrovert or an outgoing person, okay? This is part 1 of the self-introduction. Then what you're going to do is talk about your experience briefly. This is also done in 2 parts. First, you're going to pick one experience related to the interview. Then you're going to explain why it was life-changing. So, for example, I have traveled all over the world, but my favorite country is South Korea. During my time there, I learned many things about their culture and language. But the main thing I learned was the importance of embracing and respecting other cultures. Now, let's pause. This term embracing just means to accept and adapt something, okay? To accept and adapt to. To accept and adapt to, okay? So, for example, in Korea, they don't wear shoes in the house. Well, that's something that is done in America, but not in Korea. So to embrace that culture, it means to accept it and adapt to it by also taking my shoes off when I come inside the house. Okay, so once again, embracing. Okay, let's keep going. As a global company, I believe that this is a philosophy you also value. The term value just means to consider something to be important, okay? To consider something to be important, okay? To be important. Let's get this T, okay? To consider something to be important. Value. Once again, value, okay? Now, the next part is part 3. Explain your life philosophy. Now, this is done in 3 parts. First, you want to explain it briefly. Then you want to tell how it developed. And finally, you want to say how it has or will affect your life. So the example looks like this. My personal life philosophy is we all grow when we respect and learn from each other. I developed this philosophy after working with people from various cultures, and it has completely changed my life. So, changed my life actually means when something has a great effect, okay? A great effect, okay? A great effect. Okay, something had a great effect on my life. Okay, let's keep going. Now, the next thing is questions. You see, there are 3 common questions that you will be asked when you go to the interview. The first one is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, there are 3 different parts that you need to use for this one. The first one is your life goal. First, you want to describe your life goal and then the reason for making this life goal. Next, you want to talk about your short-term plan. What stage are you in your goal and how will you get there? And finally, lessons learned or the development. Connect the company to your answer and then explain the development. So this is what it would look like. My life goal is to speak 5 languages. I made this goal because I know the power of language to connect people. So what happened? I have answered the first one. Let's keep going. Currently, I speak 3 languages. I speak English, Spanish, and Korean. My plan is to start learning French and Chinese next year. So in 5 years, I hope to have accomplished my goal. What happened? We already answered the short-term plan. Next, I believe that it will help me professionally because I will be able to converse comfortably with global clients. Now let's pause real quick. Converse is just another way of saying to talk with, okay? To talk with. We say converse. Okay, let's keep going. Developing my skills as a foreign language speaker will in turn be a great asset to your company as well. So I've actually completed number 3. Now, what you will see right here, in turn, this expression means as a result of something. So as a result of something. So in the beginning, I'm saying developing my skills. So as a result of developing my skills, it will become a great asset for the company. Okay. That's how you explain in turn. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So now the next question is, what is your greatest weakness? Now, this question also requires 3 different parts. The first thing is the description. You want to describe your weakness and also give the reason for it, but always in an optimistic way. Okay. Optimistic just means positive. Okay. Just means positive. And I will show you exactly how to do this. Okay. Next, change to a strength. How it can be changed to a strength, and also how you are changing it to a strength currently. And then positive connection. How it can help you at this company, and also the connection to your future. So the example will look something like this. I think my greatest weakness is being a perfectionist. A perfectionist is just someone who needs everything to be perfect, okay? Needs everything to be perfect, okay? No mistakes. They are very critical of things. So we say perfectionist, okay? Let's keep going. My desire is to always get things correct and to complete things in the best way possible. So my perfectionism can sometimes cause me to be extra critical of my work, which leads me to overthink projects. Now, the term overthink just means to think about too much, okay? To think about too much. Another word you can use is worry, okay? Worry for no reason. Okay, so again, overthink. All right, now, what we've done is we've answered number 1, the description. Now we're going to move on to number 2. Here we go. I do think, however, that it is possible to become a strength. Now, I want to show you something about this. I do think, however. This is what we would call a transition expression, okay? Transition expression, okay? When you want to say something that is contrary or opposite, instead of saying but, you can say I do think, however, and then continue with your thought, okay? So let's keep going. So I am working on being less critical of myself and balancing my tendency to be a perfectionist. Okay? Tendency just means a habit of doing something. Okay? A habit of doing something. Okay? Doing something. All right. This M right here. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. Now, what has happened? Change to a strength. Number 2 is done. Now, in time, my attention to detail will hopefully become a great benefit to your company as well. Now we've answered the positive connection. All right, so this part right here, in time, this expression actually means after time passes. So after a while, in a few weeks, in a few months, or in a few years, we say in time. Okay? All right. Now, the next question is, tell me about one of your accomplishments. Now, for this one, you also need 3 parts. The first part is description. You're going to give your definition of an accomplishment. Then you're going to state your accomplishment. Then you're going to give details: who, when, where, what, why, and also you can add how, but you pick 3 to 5 of those. Now remember, I did a video on the 5 W's, how to organize your thoughts. So you can look in the top right of the screen to watch that video if you need help organizing your thoughts. And also you're going to tell your feeling. Finally, past and future. How it changed you and how it will help you in the future. Okay, so the example looks like this. In my opinion, an accomplishment is something that is achieved after putting in a lot of hard work. So I believe one of my greatest accomplishments was receiving a full scholarship to study in Spain. And we've completed number 1. Let's continue. In 1999, I applied for the Study Abroad Elite program. Underline elite. This word just means top or the best. Okay? Again, elite, top or the best. Let's keep going. A few months after I applied, I was selected because I had maintained a 4.0 GPA throughout my time in high school. I was overwhelmed with joy when I heard the news. So we finished number 2. Okay, now the term overwhelmed, this term actually means to cover or to overpower. To cover or overpower. See if we can get this R right there. So I said I was covered or overpowered with joy, overwhelmed with joy. Okay, let's keep going. Through the program, I was able to master the Spanish language, which has continued to help me in my professional endeavors as well. Now, the term endeavors actually means an attempt to achieve a goal. One more time. An attempt to achieve, let's put the I right here, a goal, a specific goal. We say endeavors in English. So this is how you apply that for this answer. If you want to keep learning more about how to pass an English interview, please go to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/ebooks right now. This ebook will help you truly pass the interview that you will have to do in English. And also, look at the left side of your screen and watch my next English video lesson. Remember to keep studying English, and I will talk to you in the next lesson.